Alberta's grasslands are part of a much larger ecosystem known as the North American Great Plains. We're at the northernmost edge here, and they extend down into the mid-United States and into Mexico. They are also part of the temperate grasslands and are one of the most endangered ecosystems on Earth. In Alberta, we have about 36% of our native grasslands remaining. 75% of our species at risk can be found on the grasslands. There's about 70 fish and wildlife species and the same number of plants and invertebrates that are at risk in Alberta. Ranching plays a vital role in preserving our species at risk. Without the ranching community, there may not be any native grassland left. They'd be under extreme pressure from all other types of development.
The MULTISAR program is a grassroots program that works with producers on the ground. So a lot of these producers, their families have been on the landscape for many, many decades, some over 100 years. And so they know a lot. And so that's really important for us to learn from them and to know what are the changes they've seen over this time. One thing we always talk to producers about is that if you have species at risk on your land, then you're doing something right. And we want to make it so that species at risk are an asset to their operation.
I'm Roy Dett, and I own the Grasslands Ranch, and it's been in the family since 1900. My grandfather came in 1900 and decided this was a good spot. It's always good to work with another organization that's offering you help. Inventory on the place was probably the first thing I got involved with MULTISAR. You know, if you think you know everything, you probably don't. So I found it really beneficial to me.
We've been ranching for quite a few years. I'm actually a fifth generation rancher. We really appreciate the grasslands and the effect it has on our ranch and our cattle. It has to be maintained and well taken care of. And as stewards of the land, that's kind of our part, is trying to get it grazed. We work quite often with different nature groups. It's been real good for us because they've got programs that point out different things, and they've got programs that actually help us fund different projects that we thought were never possible too.
The MULTISAR program is a species at risk program, so we have range agrologists, riparian specialists, and biologists on the ground. We do a lot of detailed surveys for wildlife species, range assessments, and all that information actually gets provided to the producers. So they actually get a report in their hand, and they use that report as a tool for their management of their property. Some of the enhancements include wildlife-friendly fencing, things like hawk poles for ferruginous hawks. They've also done things like upland watering sites where they have tracked cattle away from riparian areas. That could be important habitat for western silvery minnow, northern leopard frog, and get the cattle up on top where there's better production for them and may create habitat for things like burrowing owls. Native grasslands are important for all of society, whether you're from the city, whether you're from the country, or a producer or a recreational user. We all enjoy going to the vast open grasslands and enjoying the beauty.
The Canadian Cattlemen's Association has partnered with MULTISAR on a project through the Species at Risk on Agricultural Landscapes to help conserve some of the grasslands and the species and the habitat that goes along with it. Having partnerships with the conservation community is extremely important to help build on each other's knowledge and share that knowledge across different professions to really achieve what we both want to achieve, which is these spaces for many generations to come.
The MULTISAR program is a partnership between Alberta Conservation Association and the Alberta government. We have partnerships with the Prairie Conservation Forum, the Canadian Cattlemen's Association, Alberta Beef Producers, Canadian Roundtable for Sustainable Beef, and the Cows and Fish program. We receive funding from a lot of those partners, but also a lot of funds come from Environment Canada, which has enabled us to collaborate with producers.